What's up? What's up? This is Tasha, and this is the Healthy, Happy, and Hot Show, where I discuss how to become your best and healthiest self in a way that's simple and sustainable for you. So, y'all, welcome to the first episode. I am so excited about this, and there is so much to cover today. So, today I'm going to tell you a little bit about who I am, why the show is titled this, what to expect, and then we're going to dive into our first topic, which will be why we have struggles staying on track with our health goals. So let's dive in. So first, a little bit about me. Again, my name is Tasha. I am the owner of the Mixed Edgy Kitchen and Fitness. I was born and partially raised in Atlanta, Georgia. I say partially because I bounced back and forth between Florida and Georgia a lot as a child. I am a very proud and somewhat embarrassingly so graduate of the University of Florida. And I've been a health and fitness coach full-time since 2004. Yeah, you just did the math on that, didn't you? That's been 18 years. 18 years. I was actually going to throw in a Kanye reference. But yeah, it wouldn't have made sense. It would have been slightly cringe, and we're just starting to learn each other. So I'm going to hold off on that. But do know, cringy, corny, that's coming, okay? So I got started by working in a high-end gym while I was waiting to apply for grad school to become a physician assistant. So one thing that you'll learn about me is that I'm frugal. Now, I'm not like cheap, because I will spend money on things that I love and experiences and stuff like that. But other than that, I'm definitely frugal. And even though I was paying for this gym membership for a couple months, it was expensive, and I really didn't want to pay for the gym membership anymore. So I asked one of the trainers that I knew about, if they were hiring. And my idea was that I was going to swipe membership cards. And that same trainer was like, yo, why don't you become a trainer? And I'm like, what? But he saw how I structured my workouts and my form, and he thought it would actually be a good fit. Now, funny story is that I have never played sports. Well, I've never played sports in high school or college. My parents threw me into like softball, things of that nature, tried to put me in at like basketball and cheerleading, but I was blessed with an athletic body, but I am not a super athletic person. So it just never really worked out with me. But I knew a lot about the human body from my undergrad studies, and with research and some guidance from a friend of mine who was a bodybuilder, I learned about strength training, and I started working out my junior year of college. So I figured, get paid, get my gym membership paid for, help people still, why not? So I came on as an intern, which means I'm working for free, and learned a little bit more about the industry from other trainers that were there, and shadowed them a lot, answered phones, made appointments, all the very non-sexy stuff. And this was all while I was studying for my first certification. So I got certified a little bit later, and I started with my first couple of clients. Now, the plan was only to do this for a year while I was, waiting to get into physician assistant school. And I wanted to become a physician assistant because I've always loved learning about how the body worked and helping people and, solving problems and helping people get better after illness or something like that. So the interesting part came after I started working with clients on their fitness and health goals. I really started to see the impact that fitness and health made in their lives. So a lot of them, either they were able to cut back or cut out their diabetes medication, their blood pressure medication, their cholesterol medication. I had clients where like their mobility and their flexibility increased. There was even one client I had that no longer needed a cane. Y'all, that's serious. Almost every client had a significant improvement with their overall confidence. And then, of course, there's their bodies, yada yaddies, where sometimes through weight loss and healthy living, they literally started aging in reverse, which was really cool to see. And I saw how with fitness, and nutrition, you could become proactive instead of reactive when it came to your health. And interestingly enough, that was what did it for me. And I decided to stop pursuing becoming a physician assistant, because to me, that would have put me on the reactive side of things. I would have been trying to unravel health issues, health conditions, versus being able to be on the front end so that they would never really have to be in front of me as a physician assistant anyway, which I thought was really cool. So since then, I left the gym and I started my own business in 2009. And after a bit, it was just fitness, what I learned, what I was certified to do. But then working with more clients and starting to understand where some of the issues were coming from, I started to combine mindset. I started to do more studying on mindset and habits and combine that with fitness. Yeah, y'all, back in 2009. And my clients saw even more success because we were starting to address things at the root of the problem instead of just trying to make changes. Okay. And then a few years later, I learned more about nutrition, got some certifications in nutrition, and started focusing on nutrition and mindset as the main parts, kind of like the Beyonce and Kelly of it all, and then used exercise as a backup. Poor Michelle, but Michelle is the backup of that trio. And then my clients actually started to see even more results that came faster, and it was more sustainable even after we stopped working together. So that focus on nutrition and mindset, mainly putting a lot of focus on that, and then using exercise, it's kind of like a support magic. That was the trifecta. And what's interesting is that throughout the years, that is starting to become more mainstream as well. Now you hear a lot about mindset and nutrition and exercise just being a small part of that. But y'all, I was rocking that thing out in 2009, 2010. And the thing is, most people will do the exercise part. That's the part that's fun. That's the part that's Instagrammable and Facebookable and sexy. I'm sweating it out. Look at me go hard in the gym. And that is cool. But it's the mindset, the habit change, and the nutrition that keeps them from seeing the results that they definitely deserve with all that exercise that they're doing. And let me tell you, nothing will get a person more frustrated and want to stop doing all the things than working your butt off most days of the week and not seeing a result from it. Either losing a pound or in some cases gaining a pound because the nutrition isn't where it should be, their mindset isn't where it should be, and the habits aren't where they should be. And that's not to say that they're not trying. And they're not cutting out things and all of that. But yeah, that's also a part of the problem, as we'll talk about a little bit later. So I really love what I do because I love to witness those aha moments when my clients start to really flourish, when they're able to achieve the things that they never thought possible in all areas of their lives. For instance, I had a client this week that told me, I was able to cross my legs. Something that simple that has nothing to do with the scale, but that can totally be life transforming. And I freaking love that. I love when food and their trigger foods and their cravings no longer control them, yet they're still able to enjoy them. And then it even goes beyond that client. I love how this whole thing affects their families. I've heard and I've seen where their partners and their children get healthy without even trying because the dinners in and of themselves are healthier. The children are learning early about healthy eating and healthy living, which will definitely affect them in a positive way going forward. And then they will never, hopefully, end up speaking to some form or version of me. And let me tell you a little bit about my clients, because everybody likes to think, they just have time to do all that. Nah, my clients are busy people. They have super demanding jobs. They're involved in a lot of charities and social groups and clubs and things like that. Their children are involved in a lot of things with sports and all that. I mean, like, most of my clients are like Uber drivers, like free Uber drivers. And my clients love to socialize, like love. They love to dine out. They love to do their brunches. They love their cocktail hours. Like, you can't stop them. So to be able to show them how they can still prioritize themselves, yes, you have to take care of you first. You can't fill from an empty cup and all those other proverbs. They're able to still prioritize themselves and their health. They're able to lose weight, get hot. They're able to eat the things that they love, and they can show up even better for their loved ones, all without being overwhelmed. They sleep, they're well rested, they are happy, and they are absolutely unbothered by the stressors that are circling around them. Now that is what being healthy, happy, and hot is all about. And I want you to know that you can do the same. And I am here to kind of show you how that happens. And that is why the show is called Healthy, Happy, and Hot. All right. So with each show, I'm going to give a topic on different areas of health. I'm going to talk about questions that I've heard, things that I've seen my clients struggle with, and strategies that I've seen work in my 18 years of being in this game, which is not a game, it's a field, but this game. If you ever have any questions or topics that you want for me to cover, you can always email me. So my email address is Tosha, TOSHA, at mixkitchenfitness.com. Okay, so move on. Let's talk about today's topic. Today's topic is all about why can't we get this thing together? Why can't we keep it together? And why we keep getting on the wagon and falling off the wagon. Okay, so by the time many of my clients even get on a consultation call with me, they've already been on like 5 or more diets a couple of times. Many of them have lost and gained 100 pounds in that time cumulatively. Okay, so listen to me. When I say that, understand what I mean. Like, they've lost 10 pounds, but then gained 10 pounds, maybe 11. And then they go on to lose 20 pounds, but then they gain back 15. And then they lose maybe 30 pounds, but then gain back 40. So you see how that can easily work up to like 100 pounds over the entire time and space of it all. All right. Most of my clients are women that are over 35, though I do also work with some men. And quite frankly, they are tired and they are frustrated. Like, they think that their mind, their willpower, and or their bodies are just broken. Like, I actually have as a question on my consultation questionnaire, where they feel that they are at the moment. And so many of them are clicking hot mess, please help me. Because, that's how I get down. That's one of the questions that are on there and the answer for it. They usually have anywhere between 50 to 60 pounds to lose, yet they can't get beyond losing the first 20 without at some point gaining it all back and sometimes then some. And when I talk to them and we, discuss some of their habits, a flow of their day, and I can see some glaring things, and I'm like, oh, honey, don't worry. We got this. Like, I got you. And this is not going to be nearly as hard as you think. They straight up don't believe me. They don't believe me when I tell them that not only will working with me work for them, but that it's also going to be simple and easy. They don't believe me when I say that they can still enjoy the foods that they love, or that they're not going to have to exercise for an hour 6 days a week. They really don't believe me when I say that that's somewhat part of the problem of why they're not receiving the goals that they want. And this is all because we have been taught and we have been told that weight loss has to be hard. We've been taught and told that it has to involve punishing ourselves mentally, physically, and emotionally, that we have to be strict with our diet and we can only eat chicken breasts and a lot of vegetables without much salt. We've been told that like everything has to be low fat and low carb and low taste and low joy, and that we have to cook separate meals for our families. Oh my God, don't cheat, okay? Because if you do, if you even look at the cake or the ice cream or the wings, you're gonna gain 10 pounds where you want to see it the least. and that you have to do high intensity workouts 6 days a week. You got to sweat, because if you weren't sweating, then it's not working. You haven't worked hard enough. And this, my friends, this is the problem. This is why you can't stick with it and you keep falling off of other people's wagons, because you didn't build your own health wagon. You didn't factor in what you wanted to really become, who you wanted to become. You didn't think about your lifestyle and the time you actually have, as well as your current habits. You can't jump into doing without first being. I know that sounds a little esoteric, okay? I understand. But it's true. We want to do all the things without becoming the person. And that doesn't really work. You have to become a healthy person, not just do the things you think healthy people do and expect it to work long term. It's like playing dress up. Like, remember when we were kids and we used to play dress up? You know, did most of us become that princess or that freaking soldier or dragon? And if we're trying to apply the same logic, then why not? I mean, we did all the things. We walked around in the frilly dress if we were trying to be a princess with a towel over our head to make our hair seem long and flowy. I may or may not have done that as a child. And we did all the things. We twirled around and all that stuff and tried to get people to do what we said to do. But most of us didn't become a princess. And with the dragon, you know, we walked around with our fingers curled, chasing people, walking sideways, going, arr, arr. But yeah, we didn't turn into that dragon. Okay. And that's because we weren't a dragon. We didn't become the dragon. We were just doing things that dragons did, that princesses did. Nor were we ever really motivated or committed to doing that in the first place. And I'm going to kind of hit you with the truth bomb. Most of us are not really motivated or committed to doing the things that's necessary to get the outcome that we expect. Okay? The other part is that you didn't really consider how to make this work for your current lifestyle. And if this is how you wanted to live for the rest of your life. All diets work until you stop working them. And we stop working them because it doesn't work for us or our lifestyle in some sort of way, right? Keto is great until you want pasta one night or cake and ice cream for your birthday weekend. Being vegan is great until you smell a hamburger from your favorite spot and it's like, oh my God, right? And, you know, the new thing, which is eating one meal a day and fasting for 20 hours is great until you might not be getting enough nutrients, but then also your stomach starts growling 15 hours into this 20-hour fast, and there's not enough water, bone broth, and praying to your ancestors to make that stop. And so you give in, right? And you give in, that could lead to a weekend, or maybe it's just a meal, which isn't bad in and of itself. But if you don't understand how that works when you've restricted for a long time and then you dive into the thing, that kicks off cravings for things that you haven't had. And so then it's like, whoo-wee, them floodgates get open and you go on that long binge. And then you feel guilty because I have no idea why we do this. And I have clients that do this all the time. They'll have an indulgent meal and then they weigh themselves the next day. I'm like, why are you choosing violence and problems over peace? But they do it. And then you feel guilty at the weight that you gain. You start berating yourself and calling yourselves all sorts of crazy things just because you ate pasta one night. And then it kicks off stress hormones, which will make you crave more carbs and sugars and your trigger foods, and also has you maintain belly fat. Y'all, then we give up altogether until we decide to start again. It's a vicious, vicious cycle, okay? Y'all, we are human, and we're supposed to enjoy food. Food is a big part of our lives and celebrations within every culture. Now, whether that food is good or not, seasoned, that's a different thing. But every culture, we celebrate with food, and it's a big part of our lives. Every mammal loves sweet tasting food. All right. You can see even, monkeys that go towards fruit and they love that fruit. We also love indulgent foods and foods that are our favorites. So giving it up for 99% of us, that isn't realistic, nor is it sustainable. The thing is, you have to build a healthy wagon for you and your lifestyle in a way that's simple to follow and that you can do 85 to 95% of the time. You have to lose weight in the way that you want to live the rest of your life. The first step in building your health wagon is to become crystal clear on what you really want and what you're committed to doing and who you're committed to becoming. How do you define healthy? When you close your eyes and you imagine yourself at your healthiest, what does that look like? What does that feel like? What are the things that you're doing? You should make a list of this too. Then ask yourself, why do you want to become that person? And let me give you a little spoiler alert. It has nothing to do with losing 30 pounds or looking hot at the beach by summer with your shirt off. It's about why that's so important to you. Why do you care if you lose 30 pounds? Why do you care if you look hot by the beach to some folks that know you well and some strangers? And write that down. Also, write down what you think you have to do to become that person, like all the things. Do you have to eat right? Then also define what does eat right mean in that situation. Do you have to exercise 5 days a week and all that type of stuff? Then from that same list, circle what you are committed to doing now. Maybe it's no longer eating sugar, or maybe it's pushing harder in the gym. Then put a star by the things that you can see yourself doing for the next 5 to 10 years consistently, aka 85 to 90% of the time. Now pick 3 things to start working with, and then pick the one thing that you feel will make the biggest impact. How can you make this work with your lifestyle and make it as easy as possible for that one thing? Instead of stopping fast food altogether, for example, start by making better choices when you order. If you currently order like super size, then go regular size. Or keep the super size and cut out the water. After a couple times of doing that, then, maybe order the sandwich and a medium fry. Yeah, it's going to cost you a little bit more. You'll be okay, I promise. And then get the water. Then maybe work your way to where you're doing a kid's meal. It's small steps like that that are super easy that add up to the big results that actually last. And I go through this same process with my clients. We go through a good, better, best. But the main thing is just really figuring out where you are and what you want, and then take steps from there. So give that exercise a try and let me know how it works for you, okay? Well, that is all for today, folks. I definitely want to know how this episode connected with you, what you thought about it. And, let's hang out a little bit more. You can easily connect with me on social media, on Facebook and Instagram at MIX Kitchen Fitness. Or on Instagram, my personal-ish one is Tosha, TOSHA _ MIX Kitchen Fitness. And then if you'd like to chat about what it would look like to work together, you can sign up for that by going to my website, which is MIX Kitchen Fitness, MIX kitchenfitness.com. Lastly, if you're a woman, if you're a woman and you want to become a part of a community with other women that support each other while getting daily tips on just, all these things, health, some recipes and fun stuff like that, then join my free Facebook group, which is Healthy, Happy, and Hot Weight Loss Strategies for the Busy Woman. Again, if you have any questions, definitely reach out and message me through any of those platforms, and I will answer it the following week on here. I am so excited just with everything that'll develop and just being a part of Spinwax. And until next time, stay healthy, my friends.